My precious children, God says, I greet you in this very moment. Can you feel my presence even now as these words touch your spirit? I know the weariness that clings to you, the heavy burdens you carry, the unyielding pressure that exhausts your souls. I see your every struggle, every tear shed in secret, every anxious thought that races through your mind. I understand the relentless demands of a world that screams for your attention, that measures your value by your productivity, and that convinces you that your worth is tied to your latest achievement. So often you embrace this narrative. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor, convinced that true rest is a luxury you cannot afford, a sign of weakness you must overcome. This ceaseless striving, however, extracts a devastating toll on your physical body, your emotional well-being, your mental clarity, and most profoundly, your spiritual vitality. You find yourselves increasingly anxious, perpetually irritable, deeply disconnected from joy, and subtly, insidiously, you begin to lose touch with the very essence of who I created you to be. Your spirits, meticulously designed for connection, peace, and vibrant life, become frayed, worn thin by the ceaseless grind. You start to internalize the destructive lie that your worth is somehow contingent upon your accomplishments, that your value is solely determined by how much you produce. And when you inevitably fall short of these impossible self-imposed standards, guilt and shame insidiously creep into the quiet corners of your hearts, whispering lies that you are not good enough, that you are not doing enough, that you are simply not enough in any capacity. But hear my voice now, my beloved ones, for it is clearer and more resonant than any whisper of doubt or fear. Your worth is not, has never been, and never will be dependent on your striving. It is not about your flawless performance, your impressive achievements, or your endless efforts to earn my favor. It is, and always has been, about your presence. Think about this profound truth for a moment. This is not a mere motivational speech urging you to work smarter, nor is it a clever productivity hack designed to maximize your output. This is my divine invitation to a radically different way of living, a way of being that transcends the world's endless demands. It is an invitation to a deep, soul-level rest that goes the weight of the world, or even the burdens of your own life, upon your fragile shoulders alone. It is my unwavering invitation to release your tenacious grip on control, to surrender your worries, your anxieties, your endless to-do lists, your overwhelming responsibilities, into my infinitely capable hands. Hands that fashioned the very stars and uphold the cosmos. Look at the delicate lilies of the field, or consider the carefree birds of the air. They do not toil or spin. They do not worry about tomorrow's provision. Yet they are exquisitely and perfectly cared for by my hand. This is not to say that you should be idle or irresponsible, for purposeful labor is a good and sacred gift, but it is about a fundamental shift in your perspective, about understanding the ultimate source of your provision your peace, and your very existence. It is about remembering that I, the creator of the universe, the one who holds all things together by my mighty power, am personally, intimately, and lovingly invested in your complete well-being. I know your every limit. I understand your deepest exhaustion, and I am eternally ready to provide the profound refreshment that your soul so desperately craves and was created for. My children, this is not merely a suggestion or a gentle request. It is a divine command wrapped in my deepest, most tender embrace. When you refuse to truly rest, you are not simply being busy. You are often operating out of a profound place of fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of missing out. Fear of failure. Fear of what others might think. But in my rest, there is perfect peace. There is an unshakable, quiet confidence that blossoms from knowing you are profoundly loved and perfectly cared for by the one who created you. This is not about idleness or apathy. It is about harmonizing your pace with my divine grace. It is about discovering true strength in the act of surrender and liberating freedom in the profound act of release. So, as we prepare to journey deeper into this revelation, I want you to truly let this foundational truth sink into the deepest chambers of your spirit. You are personally invited by your Creator. You are utterly loved beyond measure, and you are eternally welcome to find your true, sustaining rest in me. Prepare your hearts now, my beloved ones, for the next part of this anticipating their judgment. There's a freedom in that deep trust. It is precisely the same with me. When you truly grasp the immeasurable depth of my love for you and the boundless scope of my power working in your life, you can begin to release the tenacious grip you have on your own lives and surrender fully to my perfect, sovereign plan for you. One of the most significant and often most insidious obstacles to finding this liberating rest is your own relentless self-reliance. You've been meticulously conditioned by the world around you to believe that you must figure out everything on your own, that you must be strong enough, smart enough, or resilient enough to handle whatever comes your way without any external help. And while personal responsibility and diligence are undeniably important virtues that I cherish, there is a distinct and crucial line where healthy self-reliance tips over into an exhausting, soul-crushing burden. I am inviting you beyond that unsustainable line. I am calling you to humbly acknowledge your inherent limits, to courageously admit that you do not possess all the answers, and to profoundly understand that your strength, your human strength, is truly made perfect only in my divine weakness. This isn't about giving up in resignation. It's about giving over in radical trust. It's about taking that overwhelming to-do list that looms over you, that crushing anxiety that stifles your breath, that nagging fear that whispers doubts in the night, and literally placing every single one of them into my infinitely capable hands. It is a conscious, deliberate, and powerful act of surrender, a choice to lean not on your own understanding, but on my eternal wisdom. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, and these thoughts are deeply rooted in the fabric of your culture. But if I stop striving, won't everything fall apart? If I truly rest, won't I lose my edge? Won't I fall behind in the race of life? These are valid fears, my children, deeply ingrained in the very air you breathe. But here lies the glorious paradox of my divine rest. When you truly rest in me, you actually become more effective, more creative, more peaceful, and ultimately more fruitful. When you operate from a place of deep, abiding rest in me, you are not depleted. On the contrary, you are profoundly refreshed, spiritually invigorated, and mentally sharpened. You are no longer desperately trying to force outcomes through sheer willpower. Instead, you are flowing harmoniously with my perfect will, effortlessly carried by my divine current. It's like trying to row a small boat upstream against a raging, relentless current versus simply allowing the powerful and inexhaustible supernatural source of energy, profound wisdom, and sustaining grace that transcends all human understanding. This profound rest also means bravely letting go of the crippling need for perfection. So many of you, my beloved children, are tragically trapped by the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal. You strive relentlessly for perfect jobs, perfect relationships, perfect appearances, perfectly curated lives. And when you inevitably fall short, as all humans do, for perfection is mine alone, you relentlessly beat yourselves up, pushing even harder, becoming even more exhausted, and spiraling deeper into self-condemnation. But hear my truth, loud and clear. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your very weakness. This is not a call to mediocrity or complacency. It's a liberating call to absolute authenticity. It's an invitation to embrace your imperfections, to understand that my love for you is not, has never been, and never will be conditional on your flawless performance. In fact, it is often in your brokenness, in your moments of profound weakness and vulnerability, that my glory can truly shine brightest through you. When you can release the crushing burden of needing to be perfect, you open yourselves up to a true, radical freedom and genuine soul-deep rest that the world simply cannot offer or comprehend. Practically speaking, my children, finding this rest might look uniquely different for each and every one of you, for I created you as unique individuals. For some, it might mean intentionally scheduling sacred moments of quiet throughout your demanding day, even just 5 minutes to simply breathe, to pray, to be utterly still in my presence. For others, it might involve courageously setting healthier boundaries around your work, around the incessant demands of social media, or around other draining commitments that relentlessly sap your precious energy. It could mean learning to say a firm no without crippling guilt, consciously prioritizing spiritual disciplines like meditative prayer, quiet contemplation, or deeply engaging with my word. Or it could simply mean taking a walk in the tranquility of nature, intentionally reconnecting with my breathtaking creation and allowing its beauty to soothe your soul. The absolute key here is intentionality. It's about consciously choosing to create sacred space for my presence, to actively invite me into the very areas of your life where you feel most depleted, most burdened, and most exhausted. Because when I say rest in me, I'm not merely giving you permission to relax. I'm offering you a fundamental divine realignment of your entire being, a profound path to sustained peace, unshakable joy, and an overflowing vitality. Opened your hearts to the truth of my invitation. Now let us consider how this divine rest profoundly transforms your daily existence. Many believe that resting in me means doing nothing, becoming passive, or disengaging from the responsibilities I have placed before you. But that is a misunderstanding, my dears. My rest is not idleness. It is empowered action. It is not apathy. It is deep, unwavering trust in my sovereignty, even amidst the chaos. When you truly rest in me, you don't cease to work. You simply change the source of your strength and the motive behind your efforts. You move from striving for me to working with me, from human effort to divine partnership. Think of it like this. When a skilled craftsman works, he doesn't strain against his tools. He flows with them, understanding their purpose and allowing them to assist his work. You, my children, are my beloved instruments. When you are truly resting in me, you are operating in harmony with my spirit within you. This means your decisions become clearer because you are attuned to my wisdom, not just your own anxieties. Your relationships become richer because you are pouring out of my overflowing love, not your limited human capacity. Your work becomes more purposeful because you are collaborating with my divine design, not just chasing fleeting worldly accolades. This rest brings an inner stability that allows you to face challenges not with panic, but with a quiet confidence that I am with you, always providing, always guiding, always sustaining. This transformative rest also deepens your capacity for true joy. The world often promises joy through acquisition, more possessions, more experiences, more recognition. But these joys are fleeting, quickly replaced by a new desire. My rest offers a different kind of joy, a deep, abiding joy that flows from an intimate connection with me. It's the joy of knowing you are utterly loved, perfectly accepted, and eternally secure, regardless of your circumstances. This joy is not dependent on what you have or what you achieve. It is dependent on who you are in me. It's a joy that sustains you through trials, lifts your spirit in sorrow, and overflows into every aspect of your life, becoming a beacon for others who are searching for true peace. Furthermore, when you rest in me, you find the courage to be truly vulnerable, to cast all your anxieties upon me, knowing that I care for you. You don't have to pretend to be strong when you are weak, or hide your fears to maintain an image. I see your pain, I know your struggles, and I welcome all of it. My arms are always open, ready to embrace your brokenness and transform it into beauty. This vulnerability isn't weakness, it's a profound strength that comes from trusting in my precious children. As you step back into the rhythm of your days, carry this truth in your hearts. My invitation to rest in me is eternal. It is not a one-time event, but a continuous posture of your heart. It's a daily decision to surrender, to trust, and to receive. Look for me in the quiet moments, in the beauty of creation, in the kindness of strangers, and most importantly, within the depths of your own spirit, for I dwell there. Remember, I am your refuge, your strength, and your constant companion. No matter what the future holds, no matter what challenges may arise, this unshakable truth remains. You are mine. No power in heaven or on earth can change that sacred reality. Now go, my beloved ones, not as weary travelers, but as radiant bearers of my divine love, walking in the profound peace and limitless strength that comes from truly resting in me.